Hi folks, hope you're well. I hope you all had a great weekend. Mine was obviously quite worrying with the whole sleepover thing hanging over our heads. By the time it got around to Saturday afternoon, we tidied the house and I'd laid down so many rules to Emily. I think she didn't know whether she was coming or going. The long and short of it was I wanted to say to her, just don't ask to do something outlandish. We've given you food and drink in your room. You've got people in your room. I've set up music for you. You've got places to sleep. You can go to the park in daylight. You can go to Tesco's once. You can, you're basically free to just do what you like in your room as long as you don't mess us around. So she understood what I was getting at, because in the past she's kind of come down and gone, can we bake cakes? And we're like, no. And then she's all annoyed that wants to do it, we won't let her. Or can we do this? And we're like, no, you can't do that. They did come down and ask if I could play hide. Well, they said, we're playing hide and seek. And I was like, no, you're not. We're watching a film, go to bed, like go upstairs. But other than that, they're absolutely brilliant. I was really expecting it to be kind of a constant battle of, we want to do this outlandish thing, we want to do that outlandish thing. But they just stuck to chatting and listening to music and all of this. I did spend about an hour Saturday driving around Deepin trying to find a plug for it, plug for Emily's got like a disco light thing that Bluetooths to her phone so she can play music through it. And I was just faffing around trying to find a plug for it because batteries were like £6 to fill it. And I just thought, they're going to run out after a couple of hours, let's just plug it in. So I was driving around trying to find an adapter for it was like an hour. And then I suddenly thought, she can just Bluetooth to Alexa. So I drove home, set that up in a room, jobs are good. And I regretted it the next morning when I was woken up by like Little Mix playing and stuff like that, but it wasn't the end of the world. They're okay. I was really worried that Ollie would suffer because last year he was insistent that he take part in everything and they were just trying to get on with it. And I'm in two minds. Part of me is like, let him play, he's your brother, and part of me is like, no one wants their sibling cramping their style while they're trying to be cool with their friends. So we'd had a lot of chats with Oliver about just leaving him be, say hello to him, but then just come and do other stuff with us. We told him he didn't have to go to bed, he could stay up with us until we went to bed. We told him that we'd watch a film together, we'd play Pokemon together, and ultimately what we ended up doing was they arrived, Ollie said hi about 1 million times, and I was like, oh God, he's really excited, he's going to be a bit out of control. They all said hello and went upstairs, and he just come sat next to me and we played Pokemon until midnight, basically, from like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, stopping for food. I watched the football, Ollie played with some toys. I think Claire put on the Bumblebee film from Transformers, it was on Sky or something. I can't remember what it was on. She watched something like that, and it was just a nice day, really. We both got to the very end of Pokemon. I think we'd done the final like story boss, caught that. We basically had to. I know that by this morning we had a couple of gyms we had to finish off, and then we had to catch the big final legendary. And because all the other fights and legends and stuff like that you could just catch, and there wasn't much jeopardy involved really, but the final one, you had to kill it a certain amount but leave a little bit of health and then keep throwing balls at it. And I was nervous that Ollie wouldn't get it. He's never done that before. Every other game he's played, you can just keep blitzing it with balls and it'll be fine. This one you had to attack it just the right amount or you'd fail. So I kept saying to him, like, just make sure you save it before you do it. Don't do it unless I'm there to make sure you don't lose it. I don't want you getting upset. I kept thinking he's going to smash his Switch up or something. It's just going to lose it. He's going to be really gutted. And I'm going to have to try and figure out how the hell I replace this Pokemon for him when he's lost it. And really, you'd probably have to replay the entire game to get to the end and recatch it, because I was just convinced he'd no doubt accidentally save it because it auto-saves a lot and stuff like that. Anyway, so we'd agreed we were going to sort it tonight. I'd left mine at the right point that all I had to do was go and complete the battle. I was going to show him how to do it, and I was going to sort it. So I said to him, he had to do some homework and all of this, and mine was set up ready. And I said, you can set yours up and then you'll do it. And then I nipped out of the room, and when I come back about 15 minutes later, he was like, I've got it, I've sorted. And I was like, what, you did it? And he was like, yeah, I just went ahead and did it, it's fine. And I was all like, oh, okay, and there's a Master Ball in it, and he was saying he was going to use it, and I was saying, well, try and do it without it. And he was like, I won't use it. And then I'm saying to him, well, are you sure this has gone all right? And he just seemed off, and he'd seemed a little bit off already. I wasn't sure what it was about that he was off with. And he's like, yeah, no, I did it, and all of this. And I'm like, okay, show me. And I looked through it, it was there, and he'd caught it, and he hadn't used his master, and everything seemed fine. And I was like, nice one, Ollie, that's really cool. And then we're sort of playing, and he said to me about 20 minutes later, he was like, I've got a secret, but I'm not telling you about it. And I was just like, okay. Are you all right? I said, is it about Pokemon or is it about like school? He said, it's about Pokemon. I'm like, okay, I don't really care then. Like, okay. I didn't say that, but I'm like, okay. And then I left him with it, and then he said it again, and I was like, this isn't a serious secret, is it? You're okay, aren't you? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, do you want to tell me? And he said, no, I'll tell everyone but you. And I was like, okay, that sounds like an odd secret. And then after a little while, he said it again. And I was like, Ollie, you're going to have to tell me the secret because you clearly want to tell me it. You keep bringing it up. I promise I'm not going to get, like, upset or mad or whatever you think I'm going to get. And he was like, you can't get angry at me. And I was like, I'm not going to get angry at you, Ollie. And he goes, I caught it this morning. And I was like, what do you mean? He went, I was already at the end, so I just did it this morning before school. And I was like, is that all? I was like, that's brilliant. Well done. I wasn't holding you to ransom. I was stopping you from accidentally doing it wrong and breaking, you know what I mean? I was like, I don't really mind, bless him. So then we had a big hug and he was all like relieved. He's like, I thought you were going to be really angry with me. And I was like, why would I have been angry with you? I wanted you to be happy. He obviously didn't fully get what I was trying to explain to him, bless him, but he was very relieved. So we had a nice hug and it was quite sweet that he'd done it. So then he helped me sort mine out. He's basically completed the game before me, which is outrageous, but I'll let it slide. So now he's the champion. I said we'll have to have a battle after school tomorrow when we get home on the games. And I said to him, build up your team. Now I'm in two minds. I think I'll let you vote in the comment. I don't know whether to absolutely annihilate him with my best team or whether to give him a good fight. I don't want to let him win, but then equally I think it will do wonders for him. I'm in two minds. I feel like there's two sides to this. Don't let him win. Let him strive for more. Let him win and emasculate myself. I don't know. I might just have to see what happens. I might let the dice roll and see what happens. But I feel like I should probably let him win. But I also feel like I'm his rival and I should thrash him. And then he'll try better when he gets older. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'll see what happens tomorrow, what mood I'm in and how well he behaves. But I keep changing my mind on what's the best thing to do, really. So other than that, I made a little list of things that happened. Emily didn't sleep her entire sleepover. That was quite worrying because they basically stayed up all night. I heard Claire ask them to sleep. Well, she said it was around 1ish. What seemed to happen from my point of view is we watched the films and everything. We went to bed at the same time as Ollie. Claire sort of stuck her head in and said, we're going to sleep now, please be quiet. I text Emily saying, let me remind you that any time I have to come in and have a word with you, that is a day that you're banned from your phone after this event. So I mean it, this is serious. I then went to sleep. I heard Claire just say to them, can you keep a little bit quieter? Which I was a bit confused about because I didn't know what, it felt like I'd literally just gone to sleep. So then I thought, I wonder what time it is. And I rolled over and looked at my phone and it was 5 a.m. And I thought, how have I been asleep for 5 hours? I feel like I've been asleep for like a minute. And then the next thing I knew, they were playing music again. And I was thinking, what the hell? And it was like 9:30. And I spoke to Claire, and she said that she nipped in at 1, and then Ben woke up at 5, and she nipped in again just to say shush, because she wasn't sure whether they'd kept him awake or whatever. She didn't think they had. She just wanted to let them know that she'd got Ben back down. But then when I spoke to them in the morning, they hadn't slept at all. They basically stayed up all night, then went to a roller skating party, and then Emily went to her friend's house and had dinner there, and then came back and stayed. She watched Dumbo with us, and then when she went to bed about like, I don't know, 8:30, and she was still awake when I went to bed later that night. And I was just like, this girl's made of energy, basically. She struggled to get up this morning. She was aching like mad from the roller skating, but she seemed absolutely fine. I was just like shocked. I know that you have that energy when you're a kid, but I couldn't do that now if I tried. Like if I tried the staying awake for 24 hours challenge at this age, it would never happen. When I was younger, I used to be quite good at it. Although I was always one of the first to go to sleep because I enjoy sleeping. But I was quite good at persevering, and you go past a certain point, you stay awake. But I honestly think she could have stayed awake all last night if she wanted to, the rate she was going. And her friends were all fine this morning, she said, when she got to school. They were all fine, didn't sweat it at all. But I guess it'll catch up with her in 10 years' time, like it does us all. What else happened? So we had quite a funny... Emily went out, the boys were they'd been cooped up all weekend and they were running riot. But Ben was quite funny with a sleepover. He did the Ollie bit of wanting to be involved in everything, but they kind of let him because he was cute, and then they just jumped him out when it wasn't appropriate anymore. But yeah, because they were cooped up, we took them to the park. Ollie was scooting around. We got like a bike track, and it was going really well. And then I'm sorting out Ben, and I'd kind of let Ollie go around the track because it's quite, you can see it all. And I look up and he's not on his scooter, he's picking up gravel and he's just throwing it over the edge of the bike track. And I'm like, what is he doing? And as I got closer to him, I could see his scooter at the bottom. and he was basically gathering up dust and stones and just throwing it on the scooter. And I was like, what has the scooter done now? And he said that every time he lifted his feet off it, it slid round underneath him and hit him in the leg. So he'd thrown it on the floor and was trying to bury it. So we were just like, let's go home. And he was really moody, wanted to bury his scooter. And I was just like, come on, it's all right. In the end, we kind of convinced him. We basically had to say, like, if you're not going to, chill out and come home, then we're going to have to stop. We can't play games. We're going to have to go and chill out in your room for a bit and all of this. And he was like, I don't want to do that. So we're like, well, just let's go home and go home. And he was fine. He was, I could feel like he was het up. He was frustrated at his scooter, but he let it kind of go. By the time we got home, he'd calmed a bit and he just chilled out with me for a bit, gave me a hug, and he was all right. But bless him, it was quite... I think a while back I'd have been a bit shocked about him trying to do something like that, but I'm kind of used to it now that he's just got this... It seems irrational to me, but he's frustrated with the scooter and wants to bury it because it's upset him. It's like, yeah, okay, please don't wreck your brand new scooter. Like, it's the second or third time he's been out on it properly. And all it is something needs tightening on it to stop it doing the stunts that it's built to do. I mean, you can turn it off and on kind of thing with a latch, and that'd obviously come loose, but bless him. He had a good time otherwise. Claire filmed him. I wish I'd filmed it. It was filmed the wrong way up to put it in, but he was standing at the top of the ramp and just going woo down it and screaming like whoa, and he was like, they were. I was gonna say they weren't that big, but they were quite big, like that sort of steep, just straight down for like, I don't know however many meters, 10 meters or whatever. It wouldn't have been nice on a bike really, let alone a scooter. He was quite brave. I tried to run up one to get Ben. It was quite. I was out. I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't out of breath. I'm not that unfit, but I was just like, crikey, I'm not going to run up that again. That was uncomfortable. What else happened? We had two more things. One thing, Claire, while she was awake half the night because she couldn't sleep, not because of the girl, she just couldn't sleep. She was thinking about stuff. She was trying to prioritise what she wants to do to our house and what her main things were. She made me laugh at this because she basically said she decided the panacea, the thing she needed most, was a new fridge freezer to go in a certain part of the house, because she could then take away our inbuilt fridge and freezer and turn them into cupboards, which would solve our storage issues and everything would be great. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'm happy with that. Let's do it. So I agreed it. She was going to start saving for a fridge freezer. And then later that day I came out into the kitchen and was like, where the hell is it going to go? And Claire was saying it would go either just to my right here, so there'd been a fridge like here, or to my left, which again would have meant there'd have been the side of it like there. And I was like, well, I'm in the dining room. The kitchen's 3 meters that way. Not even that probably. I don't know, maybe, 3 meters-ish. So that's weird, being that far apart. You don't put a fridge freezer in your dining room and have your kitchen empty. There's nowhere in the kitchen for it to go. It can't go in the cupboard. And I was just like, you really want it there where our nice bookcase of stuff is, or like here where it'll be in the background of everything and it'll be really stupid. And I'll be sat at the dinner table with a fridge freezer right behind me that I'm leaning against. I was like, it just doesn't make sense. It would look weird. It would just hum constantly. I wouldn't be able to record here because it'd be humming next to me. And I was just like, we can't do it. And so she was a little bit disappointed because she'd already picked up one she wanted and everything. She'd literally just gone off to sort it in her head when I'd said, yes, we can save for a fridge freezer. So then she was just like, well, where can we put it? And we decided there is nowhere that we can fit one, not without massively cutting up the kitchen and stuff like that. And I was like, maybe we just need to save up for a new kitchen that includes that. And she's like, by the time we've saved up for that, blah, blah, blah. So in the end, long story short, she's basically like, in 3 years, we need to move house. I was just like, okay, so that's our new plan, apparently. I don't know whether it will come to fruition. I'd always assumed we'd live here until, like, Ben moved out, I guess. But, well, not moved out, reached 18, finished college, and we weren't tied to the area so much. We wouldn't move away, but we'd be flexible where we could live. But apparently, no, now we decided we're going to try and move in a few years if we can. We're going to play it by ear, because we did have plans to like convert the garage so I could record in there and stuff like that, and she wanted to put other stuff on, but I don't think we were ever going to be able to afford any of it. I don't see it happening, but it did make me laugh. I was trying to explain to my friends at work that apparently because we can't have a fridge freezer, we need a new house, and that just seems absurd. I have just thought while talking that we could just get some cupboards and put them in a certain bit of the room and turn a certain bit into storage, and then we wouldn't need to get rid of the fridge and freezer. So I may put that forward as a very obvious idea that I should have thought of yesterday, because if we could just, I can think of 4 places we could put cupboards, and that would solve the storage issue, and I wouldn't have to buy a house. This vlog has saved me like 100 grand. Probably not that much, but you know what I mean. Anyway, last one, which I thought made me laugh, I asked Ollie and Emily whether they'd had a good day at school today, and they both said yes. And I said, any issues at school to Ollie? And he said no. I said, any issues to Emily? And she said, well, there is one. And I was like, what is it? She said, well, I joined the choir today. And I was like, all right. And she said, so did Oliver. And I was like, really? She's like, yeah. And she said, we went through the songs and we were trying to sing them, and the teacher was trying to tell us what to do. But Oliver wouldn't stop shouting over it all, saying, I don't know the words, tell me the words again. I can't remember the words. Can we go through the words again? And then when they were finally singing, he was like, it's too loud, I don't like it. And I just pulled up in my driveway, she was telling me the story, and I sort of said to Oliver, why did you, choir's loud, mate. I said, I'm glad you were trying new things, but what made you join the choir? I would have said to you, it's loud. Are you okay with that? He said, I didn't know what it was. I just thought, someone asked me if I wanted to join it, so I said yes, and I went along to it. And I was like, well, it's singing loudly, and you practice the words as you go. And Emily was like, we'd gone through the words a few times, and we just needed to start singing it so people would kind of get the hang of it. And I was like, yeah, but Ollie's going to struggle to remember it the same as you will, straight away, and it's going to take him, he's going to worry about it, and he's going to need that extra help. But I said, Ollie, if you don't like the loudness, they're not going to sing quieter. It's an awkward one, because I don't really want him to feel excluded, but I also kind of get that if you're going to be sensitive to sound, standing with 20 people or whatever, 30, 40, 50 people, however many people it is, singing in a choir, they're not going to sing quietly. And so, yeah, it was a bit of an awkward one, bless him. But I tried to explain to him it is going to be singing. That is what a choir is. It's not going to be sometimes it's this, sometimes it's that. It's all singing all the time. So he was like, oh, I don't want to do that then. I was just like, bless him. Bless Emily and the school for just letting him have a crack. And then we didn't get any kind of complaints. I don't know whether one will come later. I doubt it. But I can't believe he just turned up to choir and then complained about every single part of it really loudly. And I want to know, not in an angry way, but I want to know at what point his TA wasn't just there going, this isn't for you, buddy. It's, you've had a crack. Because I get, if they'd have just said, oh, we didn't let him do it, I'd have been like, we can't possibly know how things are going to go until he's done them. But yeah, you could have guessed that the loudness would have bothered him. But it really made me laugh because he was just really cute about it this evening, just saying, I had no idea, I don't know what a choir is, I just, I thought, he was just like, I don't know, and I said, well, no one's angry at you, don't worry, mate. But that is funny, it made me laugh. So yeah, other than that, it's been a good 3 days, 4 days, however long it's been. I had a complete and utter laugh doing Mature Gamer podcast this week. Not laughed so much in ages. It was so fun. If you don't listen to that and you haven't listened before and you're into gaming, check it out, because it was just us having a laugh, talking about games and stuff. I had a good weekend. I think Emily was really well behaved. I feel really proud of her for being so good, and her friends were really good. I'm really proud of Ollie for not derailing it by being emotional about it, not because I thought he'd be in a besmirching kind of way, but he was really grown up, and I'm really impressed with him. Ben was really sweet. Claire and I survived it. I ate a whole pizza, so I feel guilty for that, but I also feel like I had a good day. Spurs let me down. Spurs lost to Liverpool, which is, they're the best team in the world, so yeah. But yeah, good weekend. I feel all right. I feel like work was a rest today, though. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up there. Hope you're all well. Let me know how your weekend went. Let me know if I should decimate Oliver on Pokemon. I feel like it would be the ultimate lesson, because he's expecting to win. He won the last time, and that was without any kind of help. So I feel like I need to redeem myself this time. I don't think it's going to define anything in his mind, but I also feel like I owe him a loss. But let me know your thoughts. If you'd rather I lose, then I will take that into consideration. Yeah, let me know how you're getting on. Let me know how your week's going. It's really weird how far through January we are already. I can't believe that. I need to start, there's loads of things I need to start planning. But yeah, cheers. I'll speak to you soon. Have a great week.